Hi, I'm Chad Wahlquist. I'm an architect at Palantir. Today, I've got Forrest Berry from Selkirk, who's going to join me and talk about their Palantir for Builders experience. Thanks for joining me, Forrest.
Hey, Chad, thanks for having me.
So, maybe real quick, everyone probably doesn't know the name Selkirk. What do you guys do?
So we are a paddle manufacturer. So we make paddles for pickleball. Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in America right now, one of the number one sports among adults for by participation. And primarily we make paddles, but we also have some things out there to just grow the sport as well, to kind of give back in that way and help people to enjoy the sport. So we've got things like Selkirk TV, where people can go watch things, learn how to play. We've got playpickleball.com, so that people can go find courts, find teachers, and things like that. And then we've also got Play More, which is one of our first things that we built entirely on Palantir for helping people play more pickleball, get out there, organize matches, and things like that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know my 70-year-old mother still beats me at pickleball. It's quite the sport around where they live. I think they've converted all the tennis courts into pickleball, and they are packed all the time. So I think the growth of pickleball and you guys is very highly correlated. That's awesome. So I guess that's the part I'm trying to think. Okay, so you're fast growing company, really consumer products, and it sounds like you've got a small team. Like, why did you pick, or how did you come across Palantir?
Yeah, so about a year ago, we started with Palantir, and one of our co-founders here is very involved with the tech side and everything. Mike, he had been following you guys for a couple of years and had seen you had come out with Foundry and had started going to more some more small medium businesses, and so he was able to get in touch with you guys. We were able to kind of get a trial run and get started and look a little bit at this ontology and kind of figure that out and just start to see some of the power for what we could do when we started plugging some things in there. Ontology was probably the hardest thing for us to grasp at the beginning, but once we
Yep.
got it, once we were able to kind of click it together in our mind and get that mental model of what you mean by ontology and how it's not just a database, but it's everything connected together, and really being able to have that digital twin of our company has let us you know put things together fast that would like we were looking at an ERD transition at some point, and we are able to really offload a lot of that work that's traditionally done in an ERD in our own like homegrown system that's built on top of Palantir, that's enabled us to really move quickly on that and have processes that are built for our company instead of sort of adapting like best practices, which may not be best for our company.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I think that the malleability of it, where I still have enterprise scale, I have the guardrails, but I can make it work for my company. I think that's something we hear all the time, regardless of scale. But the excuse me, the ontology piece, I just wanted to hit on that again for a second, because that's generally the term that people are like, "What the heck's an ontology? Why is it different?" I talk about it as the data, the logic, and the actions, everything you need to make a decision about your business. I guess maybe you could just take another step further of in like, how are you said the digital twin of your business process, like, so you're creating one ontology across many different domains and applications, or what are you doing?
Yeah, so we've got just one Selkirk ontology that we're building out, and it has everything in there for us from you know um, raw materials coming in to paddles that are finished to customer orders, and then I'm even using it on the front end for what we're calling like the pickleball ontology, where we have tournaments and locations and courts and players and ratings and things like that, so that we're able to kind of map these things together so that we can see, sort of pickleball at a snapshot, but also we can see our company and how things are working together.
I know we've talked before about some of your kind of back office stuff, so you're also using it to like drive picking in your warehouse.
Oh yeah. So that's really primarily why we started with Palantir, is that back office side of things. So we've got sponsored players, we've got orders, we've got all sorts of things that we've got in the Palantir backend, and started building out our own warehouse management suite inside of Palantir. So one of those, the key one that we've really just got up and running is our what we call our shipping engine. So our shipping engine, we're able to go in and uh, basically have a queue with automations and the ontology objects to say, okay, when an order like this comes through, send it to this station. And then we've got people in the warehouse where we've built an app on top of Palantir where they scan the order and then they start picking the order, and the order has come to them so that the right materials are near them, so they don't have to walk 200 yards across the warehouse. It's all right there. And then the automation says, okay, our queue has shrunk here, so let's print another order on that printer so that they don't have to waste time. They don't have to come in and print it, wait for the printer to print it out. They just come in, they grab an order, they scan it, they pick it, they pack it, it moves to its next station, and we've been able to see huge increases there with just efficiency, less steps and things like that. So that's one of
Yep.
the ways that we're using objects and automations, and then tied with a separate front end app that we're using for that.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. I mean, I think that when you were talking before about kind of capture the state of things, like is a giant state machine essentially, and each of these automations and people are moving things from one state to the next, and the ontology is reflecting the state of everything, and then you can build all that automation piece on top of it. So, are you using any of the generative AI features as well?
So yes, with a qualification that it's
Yeah.
coming out soon, and we're working on those pieces right now. So one of the things that actually we're going to the London Build Camp this week. Actually, I fly out
Oh,
tomorrow.
cool.
So one of our pieces on there is a CRM tool that we're building out for our sales reps. And so just as an example, we've got sort of three primary lines of paddles, sort of a good, better, best mentality. So we have the SLK line, we have the Selkirk line, the Selkirk Labs line. If you've got an account that's only ever orders SLK, whether it's because of where they live or the customers they service, whatever it happens to be, and you probably don't want to come in with like a labs recommendation. Um, but the rep, who's got 250, 350 accounts, whatever it happens to be, doesn't necessarily know that. He knows his accounts, but it's hard to keep that much in your mind. And so with the AIP, what we're able to do is, hey, it's time to service this account. You haven't had a contact with them in 3-4 weeks. You should reach out to them based off their order history, both off the last time they order. They're probably due for a refresh of, the SLK Halo. You should present
Hey,
that to them and ask them how their quantity is on that. And so we're trying to do things like that of summarization, recommendations, and whatnot. Um,
that's cool. So I know, we're talking about all the different kind of applications and other things. Is there a demo we could see of some of the stuff you're building?
so later this week, you can go download. You search "play more pickleball," and this should come up near the top there. And so what we're able to do here is help organizers just organize pickleball games, help them get out there and play more pickleball. So what you can do is you can come in and create a session. Um, I get to
Oh, that's cool. I mean, this is almost like how my kids do their video games of like trying to find a group of friends to go play video. So in the real world, this is how you're able to just like create a game and then start to find people.
Exactly. Exactly. So you can just come in, start. Right now, it's all based off of like people that you know.
Yep.
Eventually, we'll sort of open the door to be able to people make public sessions where anyone could join it. But right now, it's like, hey, I can send this into my chat with 20, 30 people and say, first 8 to sign up, and then we can manage wait lists and things like that. Um,
Oh, that's cool. And so this is built on top of Palantir. So you've got a custom mobile app built on top of the Ontology SDK.
Exactly. And we actually have an AI side built out for this as well. That's what that session manager was, where the AI will look at the players, look how long they've been sitting out, and this is actually using sort of that LM AIP logic. It'll look at the users, how long have you been sitting out, what's your record, what's your rating, and we'll try to pair up players together and teams together. So it should pair players
Oh,
into a team and then teams against one another to generate the best possible game, so that you as a human don't have to necessarily figure that out. You can just say, "Hey, do it for me,"
that's cool.
and so we've got that running in here as well. Um,
Forrest, this is awesome. Like this is really cool. So then on the back end, like maybe you want to jump into that, or is there something else
yeah.
in the app you were wanting to show?
No, let me jump over to the back end.
Seriously, that app looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna take off, man.
Yeah, yeah, we've had one primary developer on that with all that's been there with using Flutterflow and Palantir. He's done a really solid job. It looks really good.
Very cool. Yeah, I've got another Palantir for Builder customer that's using Windsurf with OSDK, and they're just taking the Windsurf library, throw it in and the OSDK library, throw it in Windsurf as the context,
Sweet.
and all the auto docs, and they're able to just basically vibe code an entire app for themselves.
Wow.
Like it's actually getting kind of scary how good that is.
There we go. Yeah. So in the Object Explorer, like this is just sort of the back end view for us. I mean, it's really nice that
Yep.
there's just sort of a back end view. Like we almost don't even need to build a workshop app for this. If we ever need to do sort of customer support, like building a workshop app for this is going to be so straightforward. All the information's there. And I can see the
Yep.
skill level I put in. I can see that this session is actually in progress right now. The players that are
That's
in there, how it's built out.
very cool.
And so the
Yeah, I think that interconnected piece is so powerful, and especially as you're building these apps and features, it's like it's additive. Oh, I want to build this feature. It's just another ontology object or two, and I start, integrating these functions into your application.
great. And then most of the actions for this we ended up making function backed because we have a lot of side
Hmm.
effects and things like that. But I mean, this has worked out really great. We're able to throw some interfaces in here, um, put our have a team manager where we've got the AIP built into it or the AI built into it. Um, yeah, we're able to just kind of build this
Very
stuff
cool.
together really quickly.
So, okay, we've seen some cool demos. We've seen some neat stuff. I guess what's the one thing that you would say you were most surprised by working in Palantir?
Um, I think probably two things for us that have really helped us is one is just the um like the depth and robustness of being able to have like we don't have a DevOps team. We you know we don't really want to do that. We don't have plans to do that right now. Like when we started Palantir, our dev team was four,
Yep.
maybe five. Because we hired another person right around then. Today our dev team is about 15, 12, 12 to 15 and growing a bit here. But most of us are working in Palantir. So when we first started, all four or five of us were. Now probably about 12 of the 15 are working in Palantir, and we've been able to grow rapidly. But again, we haven't had to like worry about our infrastructure, spin that up. We've been able to just rely on Palantir for that, which is a huge just
Yeah.
time savings for us. And then the other one is just being able to go deep on these things. Again, we've been that sort of no code, low code team for a long time, where we've built up a lot of stuff. And if we had to throw something together and host it here or there, we've done that. But most of the time, trying to stay no code, low code. And Palantir has really allowed us to do that. But again, over the last year, we've just exploded in growth across the company. We've needed to do a lot more complex things. We've been doing a lot more things in code, and Palantir allows us to go pro code and have a lot of things built out there.
Well, Forrest, thank you for joining me today. This is some pretty cool stuff, and like, good luck on the launch of your application. Like everything I see in there, that is going to go like hotcakes. I can tell you, I know personally a lot of people that will be very excited about being able to create pickleball games and manage them and all that. But honestly, the stuff you're showing me and how quickly with a small team you're able to build both back office and front office, like that is really cool, man.
Awesome. Well, Chad, thank you very much. This has been fun chatting together. I appreciate it.